Hey, this is Dan Briggs from Between the Buried and Me. You're listening to Collision on Voice FM.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing all right.
That's good. And, well, you guys, you're actually, at the moment, almost getting ready to come to Australia, aren't you?
Yeah, we're a couple weeks away. I'm trying to not rush it too much just because when we fly to Japan, we do New Zealand, we do Australia, and we fly home, and a day or two later, we start a 6-week-long American tour while we're still insanely jet lagged. So I'm like, it's great doing the interviews and talking about the tour, but in my mind, I'm still like, it's still like weeks away. Like, I don't have to think about it that much.
You're trying not to, you mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to focus on like being at home. I'm working on some new music and I'm going to see my girlfriend a little bit, trying to not immediately jump back into tour mode just yet.
Yeah. But you guys, I mean, like, you've been with Between the Buried and Me since 2005 now, so this sort of touring schedule's probably not that unusual for you, is it?
No, honestly, it's good because we got to a place where we're able to tour less and, make more money, and that's kind of the goal. Even though you don't really think about it when you're younger, but, the years where we'd be on tour for 8-9 months out of the year, thankfully that's by the wayside. Some people now have families. A couple of guys are married and, our singer's got a kid and it's just, I'm very musically active outside of Between the Buried and Me. It would destroy all of us if we were on tour that much. There would be a breakdown somewhere in there. So, much to our manager's chagrin. I mean, he would rather have us on the road 13 months out of the year,
Mm-hmm.
But you got to respect the creative process and you got to respect, the personal lives a little bit.
Yeah, you're the bass player and you are in 2 other bands as well.
I'm actually in. I just got off the phone with another interviewer, and I was in the studio a couple weeks ago for a 4th project that I'm doing now called Nova Collective. That's with the guitarist from the British group Haken, just crazy fusion stuff. But yeah, it's between Orbs, Trioscapes, Nova Collective. There's some other stuff on the plate that hasn't quite finished or come to the surface yet. I don't like to stop. I mean, playing shows is super fun, and it's especially great when you've been cooped up at home for a long time. If you're writing an album for 6 months, recording and stuff, it always feels nice to go out on that first tour and just get away and be on stage again. But after being gone for a month, I mean, you're so excited to go home and get creative again, start working on new stuff, and I can't just live inside of what Between the Buried and Me is. And Between the Buried and Me is a very free place to write music. Obviously, if anyone's heard one of our records, it's pretty all over the place. But there's just something great about having the creative energy and then meeting people like sax player Walter from Trioscapes or Ashley, the pianist from Orbs, and bounce creative ideas off these new people. And all of a sudden, you're writing music that you never thought you would be writing on your own. And you learn all these great things, and then you can bring it back to, Between the Buried and Me every 3 years or whatever, you're writing a new album. And I feel like every time we write a new album, I personally have grown so much, So it's a very important thing,
Yeah, well, Between the Buried and Me are, typed as progressive metal, but like your album is so unusual compared to anything I've ever heard. It goes from one extreme to the other in one song, in each song, not just one song, in every song.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've actually got a song on the album called Rapid Calm, and I think that's probably more the music style you are.
That's pretty good. Yeah, it's that weird juxtaposition of like, it's dark, but it's quirky, or it's upbeat, or whatever. I mean, it's that's the whole thing. Is somewhere in there, and it might have been the first wave of progressive rock bands in the '70s. Yes, Genesis and King Crimson and stuff. You had to label it as something. Everyone, you got to call it something. It can't just exist. It can't just be rock music. It can't just be metal or whatever. It's got to be something. So they put the progressive tag on it, and then there was kind of a thing that if you're a progressive band, you sounded like one of these bands, and then Dream Theater came along. That's something kind of new. We'll call it progressive metal, and then it's this idea, and that's you saying that you don't know how to classify the songs, or that they're so different from one to the next. Like, that's awesome. You wouldn't say that's what you're going for. It's just that's just what's inherently in us. That's how we write music. That's just what we enjoy. We enjoy so much, and our band has become this kind of melting pot over the years. And I really feel like with the newer album, though, it's kind of us refining all that, though. Really getting better at taking the core ideas for a song and building off those instead of just throwing everything into the pot all at once, you know. We've definitely been guilty of that in the past, but, you know, it's just, you just got to learn, you know, got to grow.
So is this like style that you do have, is that something that's a coming together of all your different music tastes, or is like all those music tastes inside each one of you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I could tell you influences and you'd be like, I don't hear that, you know. I mean, you know, for this record, especially because we were writing this conceptual piece or whatever. I mean, I was picturing in my head that it was like a theatrical work, you know. I knew that Tommy was going to be more in character and stuff, doing a bunch of different characters, and I'm a huge fan of musicals as it is. You know, I don't think you'd listen to the record and be like, oh, I hear a definite like Stephen Sondheim influence here, or you know, an Andrew Lloyd Webber influence or something. But I was listening to it. I was very on top of it, you know. And it's funny because I feel like I have two different kinds of music listening habits. You know, one is the one that's like since I was like 8 years old, and I just love listening to music and it's fun. And then there's the other side that probably started when I was in high school or college, that's more kind of like educational, you know, like I'm putting a record on and I'm trying to get a specific thing out of it. And not even for like something that I'm trying to adapt to my music, but it's just, you know, it's like reading a textbook, you know, you just get so much out of it. It's awesome.
Can I ask actually what you do outside of the bands or outside of music, or is your whole life music?
I love sports. I love baseball, American football, and I love to cook. I've been vegan for half my life, more than half my life now. And, you know, I got into cooking when I was 15 or whatever, whenever I went vegan and was kind of cooking meals on my own. And, you know, I hang out with friends. I mean, sometimes I have to pull myself away from my desk and, you know, it's been a couple days. Oh God, I have to see someone, you know, that sort of thing. But I'm happiest when I'm creative and I feel like I'm doing something. You know, I think in a band playing music full time, there's a lot of, you know, when you're home, you're technically not working, you're technically not doing anything, but I don't like that. I want to be active, I want to be busy, and I don't have like a family or anything. And I'm trying out this girlfriend thing now, so that's new and fun. That's nice, but I don't know. I really enjoy film, and I feel like it's, you know, with film, and it's the same thing kind of as music, where, you know, I can turn my brain off and watch, you know, an Adam Sandler movie, and it's, to me, like, it serves a purpose. I'm trying to get something out of it, you know, whatever it is. But I don't know. I like to also kind of use my free time. You know, people ask about influence. You get influence from so many different things, and music is a big thing, obviously. Life is a big thing, just the things that are happening in life. But I'm very influenced by other mediums of art. You know, if it's film, if it's photography, if it's, you know, painting, screen prints, whatever. You never know when something's going to put a jolt in you and make you run to the room and sit down at the piano or the guitar or whatever. So.
Yeah, I know this interview's about Between the Buried and Me and your upcoming tour and that, but at the moment you've got me fascinated. Like, are you from a musical family? How did you like grow up, and did you know you were going to be a musician?
Yeah, my mom was a music teacher, like an elementary music teacher. So she got me started on saxophone when I was, I think, 9, and I chose the saxophone because Bill Clinton played the sax, and I thought he was just so cool. So I started playing the sax, and then she was also a classical guitarist, so she got me going on electric guitar when I was about the same age, like 10 or 11. And so that was great, you know, because she could show me the early Nirvana songs, whatever I was trying to learn, and I took to it really, really intensely, really quickly. And so she had to place me in, you know, with like an actual teacher who had like gone to Berkeley and, you know, yada, yada. And that was great. And then I started playing bass pretty soonly after. Now, I was playing bass in the concert band in middle school, and I was reading like tuba parts and trombone parts because there's no electric bass in, you know, concert band. And then by the time I started high school, I was playing the upright bass in the orchestra, and a few different like youth symphonies and stuff in town, and that's actually what I was studying in school was upright bass. But I was only there for a year and a half before I moved to North Carolina and started writing Alaska at the end of 2004. Yeah, 20, and now I'm 31. So yeah, it's, and my dad played some piano, but was honestly just a tremendous fan of music, and it was always around. And I mean, he was very on the tip of what was hot, in the mid 90s and all the indie rock, the British shoegaze stuff. Sadly, like the techno scene that was kind of happening in the mid to late 90s, he was very up on that weird like midlife crisis thing. But I was definitely around it. Yeah.
Well, we will get on to the tour because, I mean, it's not that far away. It's actually the 25th of February you hit Australia. And you did mention you're going to Japan first and then on to Auckland. Chon, you're bringing Chon to Australia. Are they coming to Japan and Auckland with you as well?
No, I don't know if they're playing in New Zealand. I think they might just be doing the Australian shows. It's hard, I mean, even Australian bands know it, coming to America, going to Europe, whatever. I mean, going to Australia is an insanely far trip from America, and it sucks because it's probably like our second biggest market, outside of like Mexico and Canada. Obviously, those places are kind of extensions of America. But Australia was really like the first place we went to outside of America, like North America, where we felt like we didn't have to put in years and years of like work. And like, the first time we went over and headlined, the shows were great. It was just like we were just kind of welcomed in, and it just felt like back home, just a little more exotic. It was nice.
Well, one thing you could do is actually relocate here for 6 to 12 months.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'd be okay. That was kind of. I remember like the first time we went over, our merch guy was like, man, I should get an Australian girlfriend. Then I would have endless summer. When it's wintertime here, I'll go over there. It's summer. When it's wintertime there, come over here. It's summer. It'd be great. But yeah, I don't think it worked. Yeah, dream is dead. Anyways, I think I was just saying it's so expensive. So I think probably for Chon, just doing the Australia bit alone, even though it's only like, I don't know, 6 shows or something, it was probably enough.
Are you going to have local bands actually opening each show?
I have no idea, to tell you the truth. I never know that. Maybe.
Well, if people actually go to Between the Buried and Me's Facebook page and give it a like, they can keep an eye out if there's any extra bands announced, or just keep an eye out on the shows with Chon anyway. It's going to be exciting. Yeah,
I'm excited to come back, and we haven't been on this album, so it'll be fun. Hopefully fun for people there to hear some new stuff.
Yeah. You are actually on Facebook, BTBAM Official. You have a website page, betweentheburiedandme.com, and you've got the new video for the Coma machine on there, which is a really nice video.
Our drummer's brother actually did the video. He's a talented guy.
Right. It's very classy, like your music.
Well, thank you. I'm trying. Trying the best we can.
Yeah, well, you're doing a good job.
The only real stipulation for a video is that we're just not in it. You know, when the label comes to us, when they approach us the budget, when the director's talking to us, we're just like, yeah, that's as long as we're not in it. So
you're all shy.
No, it's just the music that we're doing, like we did the DVD, the Parallax DVD that was us playing the album in a studio, like very intimate. Like our fans want to see us playing our songs. They don't want to see us, mimicking it in a video. And we're not like, I don't know, I don't think we have it in us enough to really like act. Yeah. In a video. One of my favorite music videos of all time is Soundgarden's Fell on Black Days, and it's them. I didn't know it as a kid, but they're actually playing it. They did a video mix, cut, whatever you want to say, of the song. The video is just them playing in a studio. It's black and white, gorgeous, dark, it's moody, it's very 90s, and the audio is them just plugging in and playing. It's awesome. It's one of my favorite videos.
Awesome, yeah. And I will, because I'm going to get in trouble because I'm running late now. It's the 25th of February. You start your tour in Perth. The 26th you're in Adelaide, the 27th in Brisbane, and the 28th in Sydney, and the 29th in Melbourne, and you don't even get one day off.
No days off, just slamming. I told you we're starting that tour in America. It's going to be insane. Going to be hitting the sleeping pills and a lot of coffee during the day, and yeah.
Well, you are finishing in Melbourne. You're going to get a chance to quickly catch up with your friends for a day before you leave?
I hope. I mean, I have a bunch of buds that are there, and I don't know if the Sea Shepherd boat is there right now, but I'm friends with those guys, and I really hope so. I love that city.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to you actually hitting Australian shores again. One quick thing you want to say to your fans about the upcoming tour or album?
It's gonna be a BT Bam show. We're gonna try to play the songs as perfectly as we can, and it's gonna be a mix of stuff from the albums. Pretty much, going all the way back to Alaska. So kind of paying tribute to. Well, last year, 2015, was a 10-year anniversary of that album, so we're still tipping the cap to that a little bit. So, that'll be fun for fans of that album, but obviously we're playing a bit off the Coma record, and it'll be fun.
Awesome, and I'm going to call you BT Bam from now on.
That's it, yeah, I mean, that's what people say, I guess, so yeah.
Yeah, it has been great talking to you. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Have a good one.
And I look forward to seeing you in Australia in February.
Awesome. We'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye.